What is up, cupcakes?
What's
How
going
are we
on?
doing? But yeah. ChatGPT, like I shit you not. I'm like, that is my $10 a month employee.
It's nuts.
It
I
just
can't believe
like,
how smart it is.
well, and it just fluffs everything up that I would
Mhm.
never like. I wouldn't do it the same way. Like I wouldn't say it as eloquently. Sorry,
Mhm.
I forgot I have YouTube going over here. Where's my volume? We got YouTube going over here. We're gonna echo here in a second. So man, what's up though? Like, what have you been doing?
Just been working. I kind of took a little bit of a break from doing a lot of trade shows and events this year. We're trying to take a step back, trying to reevaluate different things. We're trying to work with more breweries, distilleries, more restaurants, do more stuff for them. Kind of, just not really going to all the events in our area because we kind of oversaturate them a little bit, if you want to say. But also
Right.
doing a lot more fun projects, doing signs for restaurants, doing like charcuterie boards and stuff like that. So it's been fun so far.
So okay, well, guys, for those of you who don't know, this is Uncle Whiskey. We're just gonna call him Uncle. People call me Daddy. They should call you Uncle.
There you go.
It just
It
all
works.
fits. And we met last year at LaserCon, just kind of randomly at the bar, right?
Yep. Good place to meet people.
Exactly. Well, I say that about like, and you must know this too. Like most trade shows, I don't really go for the speakers anymore. I mean, like there's usually like one or two speakers I want to go see,
Mm,
but it's the networking, which is usually the bar,
yep.
or they have like even LaserCon has kind of mixers and stuff like that. But it's like I do more after hours than I do during the
Mhm.
day, as far as like connections, things like that.
Well, I learned so much last LaserCon with you guys. You guys telling me how to actually do glassware using like orange glaze and everything on there, and just different ways that you guys actually like edit different photos and stuff. I learned so much from you guys. And then you were teaching us everything about like marketing and ads and how to kind
Yeah.
of get
Oh yeah.
out there a little bit more different than people normally do instead of just uh I guess going to trade shows and stuff, but like how to actually reach out to different people, stuff like that. So that was really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I think this LaserCon, there's going to be a guy that's doing something about military businesses too. So I kind of want to learn from his end, like how to expand on that a little bit. Maybe see if there's more grants I could work towards, or like, if there's something I'm just not seeing or that I don't know that I could actually use for my business as well to kind of help us out.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm pulling up my live stream notes. I'm not ignoring you.
Oh,
Uh
you're fun.
so yeah, so you apparently I did not lock my table either. You are veteran owned, but you're a veteran, correct?
Yep, correct.
So,
Yes.
what branch where did you serve in?
So I was in the Army for 15 years. I did 1 year in the Air Force, probably my best year in the military altogether.
Really?
No, I'm joking. But like, it was easy, but the Air Force is a lot more corporate than the Army. So I became a logistics officer in the Army. I got medically discharged about a year or two ago at this point. Yeah, I
Gotcha.
think I was out when we first met. I don't know if I just got out or if I was already out for a year or not. But yeah, it's been interesting. It was a great time. Awesome meeting people and seeing people from, you know, all of the places around life and everything, like every walk of life. You had police, you had teachers, you had, business owners, entrepreneurs. So it's kind of cool meeting people during my career there.
Yeah, 100%, man. And thank you for your service,
No, I appreciate it.
obviously. Uh, so then you get out. How did you tell me how you became Uncle Whiskey?
So but I actually had a full-time job and also was in college at the time. Well, towards the end of my military career, I was in the National Guard. At one point, I was active guard, in New York for Black Hawk
Okay.
unit. But yeah, while I was getting my MBA when we were in China, I ordered this aging barrel from Amazon. So when I got home, um, I set it up and like all this thing did was leak and it was terrible, leaked everywhere. So I started doing my research to see if there's any cooperages around me or anyone that I could actually get a decent barrel from that won't leak, or like something that doesn't have a plastic coating inside or something like that.
Right.
So I was able to buy these bad boys and start selling these within a couple months or so. I started selling just to friends of mine and everything, and then kind of started taking off a little bit. Some friends brought me
Nice.
to a little festival or whatever. Started selling some there, and then created the website, and then just blew up after that.
So when you're aging in that small deal, are you putting like an already purchased bottle of whiskey in it, or are you distilling, or somebody distilling first and then putting it in there and letting it age?
So you could put something like White Dog in there, just kind of absorb the flavor profile from the barrel. But you could also put a Buffalo Trace in there to continue the aging process, or something that might just be a little bit more bitter, have like some sort of bite to it to kind of get rid of that almost tannic flavor that it might have, to kind of smooth it out a little bit.
Right. So, and you, well, and I mean, last LaserCon, I can't remember the bartender's name, but she like turned us on to that like whiskey smoking device.
Oh
Like
yeah, that was
I've
really
smoked
good.
whiskey before, but not like that.
Hmm.
And that was amazing.
That was
So what I've
incredible.
always done is I always take a cheaper whiskey,
Hmm.
something that you wouldn't really say has a lot of like, has an expanded flavor profile, and then I will I'll throw some wood and some smoke on it. So it's interesting that you could just take, like, you don't even have to like I said, you don't have to distill and put it in there. Go buy a bottle of whiskey off the shelf, put it in there, and you can change the profile like that.
Yep. Yeah, so it has a level two char, and each barrel is different. You might get some sort of different flavor out of a different one. So it's always fun experimenting with those. And you could also add stuff to it. I wouldn't add bitters or anything to it, but you could add stuff to the barrel to actually make old fashioned, make Manhattan, stuff like that. So you could have a ready to drink cocktail too.
It's kind of cool. I just recently learned, we just moved here like 6-8 months ago. There's two
Mhm.
trees in the backyard that I thought were like dogwoods the way they bloomed, but they're cherry trees. And so I got a shitload of cherries, and I don't even know what to do with them. My thought was my wife has been uh, dehydrating them
Mhm.
so they'll last longer. And I'm like, I wonder if you just like threw a couple cherries in there. That'd be. Mm. uh, Hold on, my notes have gone away again.
Sure.
But yeah, man, LaserCon is like what, in a week?
Yeah, it's in a week. I think it's next Thursday.
Yeah. So, and it's in Louisville.
Yep,
Um,
that should be fun.
you're in Georgia. How far away are you?
I think it's about 5 hours,
Are you
5 6
driving or you
hours
flying?
possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna drive.
I'm driving too, man, because when I looked into flights, I'm in the airport more than I would be in the car because I can't fly straight there.
Mhm.
I'm in Independence, Missouri, so Kansas City, Missouri, and there's no direct flights.
Oh man, that
And I'm
stinks.
like, okay, well, shit, I guess I'm driving. Like, it's not that far away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'll be driving up too.
How far is it for you?
Um, so what?
How far of a drive is it for you?
It's like 7, I think, seven and a
Okay,
half,
it's a little
something
bit
like
of a
that.
drive. It's right on that
Yeah, I
cusp
can
of
do
being too
if I can
far.
do it if I can do it in a day, like in an actual like work hour day.
Yeah.
I'll drive. If it's anything longer than that, like I used to be able to do that when I was younger. I can't do it anymore.
Makes sense. Yeah, I hear that. We used to drive up from Georgia to New York to go back home. We've been down here since 2016 or so. But that drive's way too far now. It's like 13 to 15 hours depending on traffic.
I used to be able to drive anywhere. It was no big deal. And now it's like, man, if I'm like in the car for more than about 8 hours, I'm like, a hotel and a bed. I'll just get up the next day and drive the rest of it.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I was like I said, when I was looking into flights, I was like, man, I can't fly directly there. Everything I fly is someplace else, and I got a connector when I go back.
Mm.
And like I said, I think I think it's like 7-ish hours for me to drive there. It was going to be at least 7 for me to be in the airport, which means that's 9, because it's, hour there, hour back, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, nah, just drive.
So I know a lot of people up there too. So they gave me recommendations for restaurants and everything. So I don't know if you've been up there yet. I've been there, I think maybe once or twice.
I've driven through Louisville once. I've never been there.
So you have a lot of restaurant recommendations if you're interested.
Nice. When are you going? Like, when are you heading up?
I'm gonna head up early Wednesday, so I should be up there Wednesday early afternoon.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there Wednesday too. So usually, like the AP Laser folks, like we'll go out to dinner and stuff the night before everything goes on. So yeah, but let's hook up.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a plan.
Of course. But it's let's see. So it's June 19th and 20th, Thursday, Friday, Louisville. Any of you guys like watching right now or anything like that? If you guys are interested in going, it's a good time. So what cracks me up, and I couldn't, and before I started working with AP Laser, I didn't know this, but every time I was like, hey, I'm trying to do this with my laser. And they would always say something like, well, if you're engraving on a casket or if you're engraving on like a memorial stone. And I was like, why is everything so morbid?
I've always wondered that too.
So Tom, the owner of AP Laser, he started out working in like the funeral business. And I don't know if he sold or he was buying memorials. So like, giant pieces of granite and whatnot. And they were sandblasting them. And he was like, man, a laser would do this so much better. So he that's kind of where he got in, which is why they are so kind of like funeral centric, I guess. But it tracks to everything, so I'm going to pull up the schedule in a minute and we'll see the people that are there. And they're like, a lot of them do, work in some sort of memorial business, mainly because the way the AP Laser has the open architecture and everything, like you could literally roll a casket under there if you wanted to. But it's got like a bunch of other things. So like, I just letting you guys know when I pull the schedule up later, I'm like, man, this place is dark. It's not. It's just like, it's kind of where it started out. But first, I want to pull my guy out. And like, I was trying to finish this beer first. But this will hold 2, right? I'm not going to put 2 in there because.
Yeah, it'll hold 2. Yeah, 32 ounces. We have a 16 ounce and a 12 ounce one also.
So, it's just UncleWhiskey.com, right?
Yep.
Okay. UncleWhiskey.com. These are incredible. So when I first met Mike, he was talking about these mugs and he did not do them justice at all.
I remember you telling me that. That was hilarious.
It's like, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, dude, whatever. And then he's leaving and he's like, hey man, I just wanted to give you one of these. And he handed me this. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is amazing. And so this guy, you're telling me, and actually you're telling me, but I already know. You could put 2 full beers in here.
Yep.
And cold for like an hour, right? At least.
Oh, at least minimum. Like, so when we do different festivals and stuff like that, we could put 2 full 16-ounce beers in the mug that you have, and it'll stay cold for hours. So we're there working, and it'll stay cold for like 3-4 hours. Another thing you could do, you could throw it in the freezer for a little bit too beforehand or
Really?
overnight,
Oh,
whatever
and
you
it'll
want to do.
chill the. So
Yeah.
now I can't turn it up because it's got beer in it, but the entire inside is aluminum, right? Like
Galvanized
it's an
steel.
aluminum. It's what?
Galvanized steel.
Galvanized steel. So yeah, so the entire like inside of this is metal. It goes all the way down. So it's kind of like already double insulated, but then you've also got the wood on the outside that like kind of triple insulates it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so some days, some hot days out yard working, you can throw 2 beers in here and man, it stays cold for so long. It's ridiculous.
It is. It's awesome.
You sold yourself short, man. You should have led with that. You should have brought it in the first day and be like, look at this.
Just slam it down the bar.
Yes. Fill it. Well, this like temperature, some shit like that. I don't know.
Yep.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? Chris is here from Perth. It shows up from a far, far away. And do we have any people here that are like kind of in the Kentucky area? So yeah. So, but see, the thing is, Chris, you can keep refilling. You can keep putting more beer in. It's just that if you happen to set it down because you had to go like take a leak or talk to somebody or write down your monologue, it would still be cold when you came back.
Yep, definitely.
This is just like right in my face. Look at that.
Yep.
Size of my head, baby. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so yeah, if you guys are like in the area, or if you will be in the area for a LaserCon, definitely stop by. You definitely hang out with me and Mike. But if you guys want to join, like check out the deal. I've got a $25 off a ticket and stuff like that. If you guys want to check it out, it is. I was surprised because when I went last year, like I said, a lot of dudes are talking about. I shouldn't say dudes. A lot of people are talking about their kind of funeral or memorial business. A lot of what they have to say translates into any kind of laser business, so no big deal. But what I was really surprised about is Tong, who is the owner of the company, how he my shop door just opened. What's up, buddy? That's fine. He's got his like just pulls so much on the laser business. Like when he sits down and starts talking, like so he'll do a presentation, but if you ever get a chance to just sit there and bullshit with him, it's crazy how much he's like how much information he's taken in about it. It's just like it's insane. And like I don't know, I like it's just if y'all can stop by even for a day, you should check it out.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
I gotta say, man, yeah, just kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's my first time going last year. It was absolutely amazing. Got to meet a lot of people, learned a lot, going to the different, I guess, seminars you want to call it, whatever. Different people just talking about their business and how they use the laser to help them out, how people retired off it and stuff like that. And, just building community in their own area, working at local fire department, police departments, and, different restaurants, stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
and I always forget the guy's name. But there's a guy there that I don't think he works for AP. I think he's just his own guy, but he's like kind of figured out like the best way to do like photo engraving on anything.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And just to like listen to how he goes through his process with Lightburn. I mean, not even with like an AP laser, but just how he like, because you could do it on any laser, right? Just like his process on how he goes through that, because what I guess a lot of people don't really understand is that when you like if you take a photo, even if it's a great photo, it's not necessarily great for the laser yet. And there's so many things that you would take kind of more to the extreme than you would if you were like making it a picture, right? Like, you know, like you want to sharpen it more and you want a little bit more contrast. And like a lot of times, like your beginning image, what it looks like in Lightburn is almost a little cartoony, right? Like it doesn't look right. But it's because it translates really well to, you know, whatever you're lasering it on. And like just hearing that, it's just like one of those things where it's like, well, wait, I have the picture here, you know, why doesn't it look like that here? And I'm like, well, because you're not like, it's apples and oranges. It's a different kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, like a lot of like crazy good information. I would highly encourage anybody like in the Louisville area to at least go check it out for a day.
Yep.
So what have you like? What's new, man? What have you been doing now? Like, or I mean, what's new?
With the business wise, or just everything all together? I guess
Everything all together, brother.
so. I mean, just from the business and you know, kind of what I mentioned before, just kind of focusing more on you know actually B2B instead of working directly with customers, but still doing some really cool projects like trying to figure out like how to put Happy Father's Day with a dog on a glass and stuff, and working on cool little projects like that. I think we talked about me building my workshop. I'm working on a workshop right now, so I could actually start building my own wooden coasters that and different projects out of stave. So like stave signs, you know, working with a lot of barrel heads, doing barrel heads for like different restaurants and local distillery here in Georgia. Short Barrel, absolutely amazing. I don't know if you tried it yet. They have really great product. They're in Kentucky too. Are you a bourbon drinker?
Of course.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you some when I come up. Well, yeah.
Right. I'm down. Cool. I'm always down for a little booze.
Yeah, they got some really good juice, man. They're growing and growing. Amazing owners over there. But yeah, so just to work on different stuff with them. But I think that's really about it with the business wise.
So, like, what is your like? So you said the little kegs blew up. Like, is that your best seller? Like, is that what? Yeah.
So, no, these mugs are my best seller.
I was gonna say
they sell like crazy. These sell really well around the holidays, and then throughout the year, restaurants will buy it. But for like individual customers, they usually want to buy this, you know, more in the wintertime because you really don't want to have this sitting around during the summertime. You might forget about it, going on vacation and stuff like that, you know. And I
would never forget about that.
So, yeah, the mugs are 100% one of our biggest sellers, and so are the like cigar holders that we have that we make out of bourbon staves and all. And barrel heads are becoming more and more popular and all, but they're just really difficult to ship. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Don't get me started on shipping, man. It's stuff gets crazy. I'm like,
yep.
I want to make like my artwork is big, and it like to ship it is crazy. Like I drove to Illinois to drop a charity piece off because I'm like, at if I ship this on top of giving it to you for free, like I'm in the hole in that one. Like, let's let's meet me halfway or something.
There you go. But yeah, using like Pirate Ship saves a lot in shipping. Do you use them?
Yeah, I use Pirate Ship. So what I always said is like anything that I wanted to like manufacture and sell, I always wanted to be small and light.
Yep.
Because I don't want the shipping costs messing with me so much. So I started doing like keychains, and until recently, when like Etsy apparently has some sort of weird thing, I was doing a couple $100, bucks in keychains a month or something. Now it's a little lower, but the thing is, it's like it's real easy to ship those because I can include the cost, which is about $4 in the the price of the keychain, and then it's free shipping. Nice. So when you get into heavier stuff, you can't do that. Like,
yeah, it's definitely true. At least you can just put
like $175 because it's $100 and $125 in shipping. So yeah.
Yeah, I know that pain. At least you can put that in one of the little poly mailers or something like that and just send it off like a tiny box.
And that's what I do, man. But that was the thing. I'm like, I just want to have like some little small things that I can, ship out. And the beauty of like, and you could do it on any laser, but the beauty of having like a decent sized laser is I can cut, 40 of those keychains at a time. And so
do you make them out of leather or something like that?
So what?
You make them out of leather or something like that, or you make it out of?
I actually make them out of it's well, they call it engravable plastic, but it's actually acrylic. So it's a 2-layer acrylic. I might have one sitting over here. Well, so this is one side of one, but this is a
nice.
If I can get it to focus. It's just, Resident Evil. So like all my keychains were like horror themed in some way, and so what I do is I end up like I've got a back piece I'll put on this. I glue them together, put a keychain on it, and fire it out. Like
nice,
2 ounces.
Cool.
So yeah,
very cool. So what else is up new on your end? I know you just bought a house and everything. You built that really badass workshop.
Yeah, the workshop actually, workshop's great. I am currently building a chicken coop for my wife. I wish I had the lights on in the shop. Where I park is just full of lumber right now. I spent almost $2,000 on lumber. Everybody's like, oh my God, like why? I'm like, this chicken coop, I'm building a fucking giant shed is what I'm doing. It's like a big building. And then it's got to run off the end of it. And the thing's 24 foot by 8 foot wide. It's enormous. And I was ordering those lumber and I'm like, I got a truck with like a 5-foot bed. So I'm like, I can't haul 12-foot lumber in this thing. So I ordered everything from Home Depot. And I'm pretty sure it was almost $2,000 for the wood. For the wood and the roofing and all that stuff. But I'm like, and it's just sitting there. It smells like a wood shop in here right now because
awesome.
There's I have 90, I think it's 90 8-foot 2x4s right there. So that is that is what's happening now. That is the big fucking project on the road.
That's exciting. That should keep you busy for a little bit.
Man, the thing is, every time I go downstairs, so we have the chickens in the basement right now because they're, we bought them, they're chicks. I turned that off. But we bought them, they were 2 days old or something. So I have a brooder downstairs, and I'm like, every time I go down there now, they're like, their heads are kind of down because it's too low. I'm like, I'm working on it. It's coming. There will be like you guys. The thing is, so we have 6 chickens now. Paige, my wife, wants like 20 to 25. So I'm building a coop and a run for 25 chickens, which is why it's so enormous. I'm like, you guys are going to have so much room. Just chill out. It'll get there.
Just give me time.
Yeah, no shit. So you're building out your workshop. What is the workshop for? Like just like woodworking mainly, or
Yeah, basically just woodworking, just doing signs. So I have a lot of people that just want custom signs for either for a restaurant, their home, the kitchen, stuff like that. And sometimes I have to outsource some of the stuff, or I'm just sitting there using like hand tools and really spending a lot of time on it, where it should really be like a $600 piece by the time I'm done, but selling it for 75, or like 100 or something like that, depending on what it is. But now I'm actually going to have the machinery to do the cutting. I'm going to have the machinery where I could start cutting holes and staves and do like staves with like candle holders and start doing my own cigar holders, my own coasters, and actually have the drill press to be able to do that instead of outsourcing it. Yeah, so
nice.
A buddy of mine helped me out get a bunch of tools. Unfortunately, his grandfather passed, and he didn't want to just toss this stuff for it to just go to waste. So he's like, "Hey, I know you need this stuff." He's like, "Let's hook up your." He's like, "Let's hook up your workshop and get it going." So I actually have his grandfather's workbench in there too that we need to set up. I guess he took the top of it is the flooring of an old bowling alley. He said.
I've heard people do that.
So it is really badass. So once it's done, I'll get you photos. But I don't know. The walls aren't one wall's not finished. It's all cement, and then the rest is just like beams around it. So I do need to finish all that eventually too. Make it a little bit nicer. I'm gonna keep the concrete floor, keep it a little bit rustic.
You got to.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. Man.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
I can't remember if I told you about this the last time I saw you. There is, when I was in Houston, there's a restaurant called Whiskey Cake, and I don't think it's like exclusive there. I think it might be kind of a small chain, but the thing is, they have like the wall of whiskey, right? So like when you walk in, you walk up to the bar, they have one of those like deals that you see in like a library.
Yeah.
Like those big old tall ladders, and it rolls all across. There's whiskey everywhere. And like if you walk in there, they give you and you want to sample some of their whiskey, they give you what they call the whiskey Bible. And they give you this, this little deal that's got all the whiskeys they have right then. But the thing I thought was interesting is so they have like you can do a flight of whiskey. And they have several, you can do an Irish flight of whiskey, a Texas flight of whiskey, different things like that, or you can build your own. But what they did is they had these little boards that like had just a little, 1/4 inch, maybe 1/2 inch thing drilled out for each whiskey glass. And in the front, they had a chalkboard, like a little, like chalkboard type deal, like a little
chalkboard. Gotcha.
Thing you can write on. And so when you ordered, especially, I guess if you ordered anything, but especially if you built your own flight, they would just write the name of each whiskey on there. And I was like, man, this is something that like we should all be selling to these bars, right? Because beer would be the same way, right?
Yep.
You want a flight of beer? Oh, well, let me write down, the name of each thing you're sampling so you know to order it later.
So
anyway, I just thought it was a cool thing. I don't know how many restaurants do that, but they should all.
So there's one company that sells the boards relatively cheap. That's almost hard to compete with that. So what I do, I get those. I'll engrave different stuff on those boards, like for the distillery I was telling you about here in Atlanta. Just engrave like their name on it or something like that. But I don't know. They might be interested in the chalkboard thing too. That might be cool. Or maybe doing something on a stave. That might be cool. Little, maybe like one of the thicker staves. Get that for like a little sample thing. Have like 2-3 holes in it. That might be cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, like there was a guy that I knew in Houston that I think his Instagram is Texas Bar Handles. What he did is he just went around like all the bars in town, and he was like, when you like pull the tap or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's this Budweiser or whatever. He's like, I can make you a custom one of those. And so he would like go in, and he's a CNC guy, so he would like CNC it, but like he made his business on doing that. And I'm like, you're literally walking into, like, I worked in the bar business for a long time. If you got Budweiser on tap, Budweiser gives you that handle. They don't charge you for it or anything. But you've made such a great product that somebody's like, I don't want the free one anymore. I'm going to put this one on there. Now, granted, it wasn't Budweiser, it was craft beers and stuff. But when you see like that kind of craftsmanship, man, you jump on it, right? Like it just looks better.
Yep, definitely.
All right, so you got to talk to me about that Pit Boss smoker.
Oh, the one I got in the back.
Yeah,
it's amazing, man. I love it.
So here's the deal. I smoke a lot of meat. I started out with kind of like an offset smoker, like a kind of a shitty one, which sucks. They're by the one I had, not that other offset smokers aren't great. I went to Pit Barrel. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but
I'm not.
It looks like a 5-gallon or like a 25-gallon metal bucket. But the thing is, like you could smoke stuff on it faster. I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but I'm not spending 15 hours smoking a brisket anymore, right?
Yeah.
Lately, so my passion for smoking was always like having buddies over, having beers, and letting the smoker go. Since I've had kids, since we've moved, I don't have those kind of buddies. So to like hang out by the smoker is it's just not as fun. It's not the same kind of experience. So what I've really been looking into is like the vertical smokers. And I've really been looking into the Pit Boss. So what do you think about that, man? Like,
it's amazing, man.
I mean, but do you use it every once in a while, or are you using it all the time?
I use it pretty often, especially now that it's summertime. The thing I love about it is that, like, because I'm always doing different stuff. I could set up, put the temperature in the digital panel on the side. It's a pellet smoker, so that just drops in. You get all the different kind of pellets, and I could like go to the gym, go to the store, whatever, while it's just cooking, and just leave it, and everything just comes out perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
See, my thing is like, okay, so I've always been, it's got to be charcoal. But you know what? Like when it's charcoal and you're trying to cook a brisket, you can't sleep that night because that could go out or it could stall or it could like fire up. I'm like, the fact that like it's regulated like that, it's way more appealing to me, especially since, like I said, I don't have like all the dudes hanging out. They wouldn't be hanging out for 13 hours, but you know what I mean? Like whenever, like if I'm smoking ribs, like I want people to come over and like hang out, and I want to drink beer
Hmm.
while we're smoking the ribs.
Yep.
It's not the same anymore. So I'm like, I would just rather have it like dialed in. So do you think like the Pro Series is the way to go? Because I've heard that like what
Mhm.
is it, the Copperhead is supposed to be pretty good too.
Um, I don't know which one that is. I think I have the Pro Series one.
Who
It's
has the Pro Series?
yeah, it's massive, man. There's like 4 or 5 racks in there. Um, you could just get so much done. So like what I like doing, you can do the ribs, you could throw chicken in there, you could throw like baked beans with like some peppers and onions and bacon and stuff, and just have everything smoking in there at once and just have all that food ready to go when you're ready to like serve it or about time or whatever. So it's pretty sweet.
Well, it see that's the thing I miss about like my offset smoker is my
Mm,
offset smoker was like I had a lot of grill space. It wasn't super accurate, but I could like smoke like a pork butt on it, but
mm,
I could also put like potatoes on there. You know,
yeah.
with
Hmm.
the pit barrel, everything hangs, so
Yep.
you don't have as nearly as much space. It definitely like cooks fat, like it, like the fact that things are hanging, like it,
So mine doesn't hang.
like
Mine has like 4 or 5 different racks in there to
when
put
I
everything on.
say I'm saying pit barrel, not pit boss. The pit barrel,
Oh,
the
oh,
way
oh,
it's
oh, oh.
designed is everything hangs off hooks
I
into the
gotcha.
barrel.
Mm,
The thing is, like, if I get a couple racks of ribs in there,
mhm.
even though I have like a thing that'll hang potatoes in there, like it doesn't
Yeah.
fit. I'm
Mhm.
like, I want to be able to like smoke a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, get some like southern potatoes in there. So what I like
Hell
doing is
yeah.
having uh cutting up some red potatoes, throwing in mayo, mustard, Worcestershire, however you say it. Uh,
You know what
uh,
cracks me up is like I've been watching a lot of smoker videos lately
yeah,
because I'm trying to evaluate which one I want. And you know what everybody says? W sauce.
W sauce.
Nobody
Oh,
knows how to
yeah, I
say
got you.
Worcestershire.
Nobody knows how to say it. Oh no. So throwing all that in there, then I'll throw like Brussels sprouts in there and bacon, and just let it cook. Oh
Oh,
man, it comes
nice.
out amazing. I'll send you the recipe. You're gonna love it.
Do it. Yeah, absolutely. So what do we got? Let's see. So what's next for you, dude? Like, what do you? So you're building out the shop,
Mhm.
and then what's the goal? Like, what? Where are you going after that?
So I want to stop. I want to stop outsourcing stuff. I want to start doing stuff by myself because
So
a
you
lot of
gonna
the
start making these?
not that, but like the other wood products. I want like start doing my own sign, start doing my own charcuterie board, start doing my own like products out of staves and like barrel heads and different
Right, right, right.
bourbon-esque stuff and kind of just focus on that one niche a little bit and just just continue going with there and then start reaching out to more businesses because right now I'm mostly like on the East Coast. I don't really do a lot of business with anyone on the West Coast or like
Right.
Central
Oh, yeah.
or any of that stuff. So like branching out a little bit more and doing more of that stuff would be amazing.
So you're focusing mostly on uh, distilleries or just booze making places like
Not real
breweries
well.
and
I guess like a lot of restaurants and stuff like that too. But then I've done stuff for Lexus. Oh no, Infinity, not Lexus. Just
right.
doing different what were they like wine glasses and stuff like that. So I do a lot of like glassware for
Nice.
various people and stuff like that. So it's kind
Are
of
you doing that on the
interesting
AP or are you doing it on?
on the EP laser.
Okay, so you're just like a rotary, like in the machine, right?
Yep. Yeah. So the metal rotary, the the one that's kind of like this big,
Yeah.
not the really big one.
What machine are you rocking right now?
Was it the 20? 2116 or something like that.
Okay.
2416. I forgot. Yeah, I think it's 2416.
2416 or 2616.
Yeah, I think it's 24. Yeah, 2416.
Have you seen the ridiculous new ones they have?
I have not. I can't not wait to see that. What is it, like the 58 whatever?
Dude, it's 62. Hold on. I might be able to pull it up. Let's see. Hold on. Oh wait, no, I got it over here. It's ridiculous. It's the size of a fucking car. It's dumb. Let's see.
Yeah, but is that the one with the 3D laser and all that stuff, or printer, something like that?
What they're doing now is like all their machines are. You can either order them with CO2 and a fiber, or you can add a fiber on. So just craziness. Hold on, I gotta find the stupid thing now. Because it's 62 by something, or I think it's 62 by 48.
Mm-hmm.
It's the size of a small car, you know. Like,
yep.
I have the Jesus, now I can't remember what I have. I have the 4820, 2048. I don't know. Anyway, mine like is
mm-hmm.
like. I had to move my wife out of the garage when I got this thing, and this thing's like twice the size. But do you remember the fiber laser that they had last year that like moves around? So it was like it's like a Galvo, so it does Galvo speed, but then it's on like tracks, so it moves around to like more of a system. Well, they figured out how to put both those into one unit now.
That's insane.
It is insane. And I can't remember. Like, well, here, let's look at giveaways real quick.
That'd be really cool for like metal signs and everything like that.
Say what?
That'd be really cool for doing like full metal signs with the fiber laser.
Oh, 100%. So if you guys are gonna go to LaserCon, I think everybody goes to LaserCon, including you and I, are entered into win this stuff. So like a 30-watt fiber machine, which is it's not the move around one, it's one of their older models, but still a beast. Or like $250 in blank product, or $500 in blank product. Kind of nice. I'm into it. But okay, so and actually, like I'm gonna change this and put this up here only because I'm still looking for something. This is the event schedule.
Are you teaching something this year?
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not that cool. I wish I was. Like, I wish I would have asked me. I would have totally done it. Like, you know what? I have a whole presentation on using AI for your business. Because I'm serious, man. I started like using AI a little bit, and I'm like, this is better than an employee. All right, but hold on. I don't know where I put it now. I have a text message or something that I need to put. That is, well, we go back to us. We don't need to have that. Hold on. Sorry, I was talking to two people today, and I can't remember where it is. So another thing at LaserCon is they're going to have machine deals and web store discounts. All of our vendors are running promos. Oh, this is really cool, man. So the vendors there are going to be running promos. Lightburn is going to be there. I love those guys. Love them. I don't think I've ever seen them at a LaserCon before, but they usually show up in a lot of stuff. But LaserCon, or not LaserCon, Lightburn, it has I don't know when it is. They have a conference coming up in New York. Oh, in July. And they'll be offering discounts to go to that conference at LaserCon. I'm kind of into that, man. I don't know how much I want to go to New York, but
hey, I'm from there, man. So I'll go there. But
well, the last event that Lightburn had was like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
I'm so pissed I missed it because I don't know about you. I use Lightburn all the time.
That's all I use.
And I've met those guys so many times. The funny thing is, whenever they're at an event, there's like this guy, and he's walking around. He's kind of tall. Usually has kind of his hair spiked. It might be like a different color or whatever. And then it was like, okay, that's a guy that works there. That's the guy. That is
Really?
the president or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to everything. Like and those guys are just like, I've literally been out, beer in hand and just been like, there's a weird thing, like I just trying to do this. And every one of those guys will be like, this is how you do it. And they're not put out. They'll just tell you, but it's just like that whole group of people. Everyone knows that software is so inside and out that it's not even a conversation. And it's like you almost feel bad. Like even like I said something kind of like off the cuff. I wasn't like, hey, how do you do this? I'm like, I tried to do this one time and I kind of messed up. I'm like, no, you do it like this. Like, anyway, I love those guys. I'm so glad they're going to be there. That's friggin' amazing. Let's see. So, yeah. Oh, lens kits and mirror discounts. I don't know. I think they're not going to announce the discounts until we get there. If you buy a machine while you're there, you get a discount.
Cool. Very nice. Yeah, I definitely need to talk to you guys more about working with like photos on glass because I get so many orders to put like a photo of like a grandpa and a baby on a glass and like stuff like that. I'm just really bad at doing the modification of the photo. Or like a lot of people want dogs on like glass or like just different or a couple that got married or something like that. They all went on whiskey glasses or a bottle and it's just difficult to do. So I definitely need to connect with you guys a little bit more.
It is, man. It is a skill that I'm still learning. But like the biggest thing, like just for everybody out there, we can obviously talk about this more. With dogs and pets is like over sharpen the shit out of the image because it'll pull out the fur. It'll pull out the texture of the fur. Because when you take a picture, you don't necessarily see it so much. But yeah, just like, get after it. And but there's so many things that I still like. Anytime, like the reason I love going to the stuff when they're like just sitting there demoing is I tell my wife this all the time. When I'm trying to learn a new thing, I go to YouTube, right? Like I just and I just YouTube a ton of it. And thing is, you watch a ton of videos for a very small amount of knowledge that you gain, but you watch 3 or 4 videos and they all say the same thing, and there's one guy or girl in there that was like, oh, by the way, you turn this up to 11 and everything's good. And I'm like, holy shit, that's all I needed. That's all I needed right there.
Yep.
What I like about going to stuff like this is there's question, there's an exchange back and forth, right?
Mhm.
So even though a guy's giving, whatever presentation he's doing, if you ask a question, he will answer it. So that's that little nugget that I need.
Mhm.
I'm not walking away after that, right? Because you don't want to be rude. But it's like, oh wait, like, but how'd you do that? And they're like, I did it like this. You're like, son of a bitch. That was the thing.
Yeah, that was you and what's his name, Brendan last year, the Marine.
Yep.
I haven't talked to him in a long time, man. I need to catch up to him. Hopefully, he's there too.
There's supposed to be a lot of a lot of people reached out to me and said they were going to be there. So we'll see how this goes.
Cool.
All right, brother. It's been like an hour, dude. Like, you got anything you want to throw out there? Like discount code for some of these guys or something? No.
I think there might actually be one on the website. Hold up. Let me look. There might actually be one. I might have accidentally left one active.
What?
Hold up. There might be. Let me look. Let me look at my phone. Let's see. Discounts. Yeah, well, apparently I did leave UW10 active on there. That's 10% off. If you happen to get on there.
UW10.
Yep.
For 10% off anything? Or
yeah, everything. Every category.
Huh? Sweet. All right, kids, it might still be active. Check it out. We gotta dialogue more when we get there, because this is highway robbery. Like, you're not making enough money on these. You guys don't understand. These are amazing. These, like, again, when I met the Uncle Whiskey, he was like, yeah, like, I've got these, like, kind of like, they look like, whiskey barrels and whatever. And the way he described it, and then we brought this in, I was like, you asshole. Like, look at this. This is amazing.
Yep.
I really want to laser engrave on it, but I don't want to ruin it. I'm afraid I'll get it like off or something and mess it up. Anyway, so we need to market you better, because we need to make you way more money.
Hey, Nut, show me how to use that AI thing too. So we'll definitely connect while we're up there and sit down and talk more about all that stuff. And hopefully some of the people watching this today will join us.
Yeah, right. You guys all show up.
Everyone.
I'll email you my phone number for like tonight or tomorrow, so we can text and keep in touch.
That works.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And let's do it again. I was gonna say, you got anything else, but we already got 10% off, man. Come on. We got this.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Have a good night, and we'll talk in like a week.
Cool. Sounds good, man. I'll do that.
All right, brother. Cheers.
Have a good one.